Welcome to Hitman Boxing. Hit that like and subscribe button. So, this past weekend, very tough weekend for the Charlo brothers. Jermall Charlo suffered his first professional loss against Tony Harrison. Jermall Charlo was able to beat Korobov, but many boxers fans are saying that he lost that fight. Now, after this tough fight for Jermall Charlo, he's calling out the likes of Triple G and Canelo Alvarez. He wants to fight one of the two next. I watched the post-fight interview for Jermall Charlo, and it looked like he was begging Canelo to fight him. And, you know, if Canelo was watching the fight, I think that he'd be more inclined to fight Jermall Charlo now that we saw him go through this tough fight against an opponent he was supposed to beat or look impressive against, and he didn't. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Korobov because he's got a good amateur background. He only had one professional loss leading up to this fight. He was a very solid opponent for Charlo, especially on such short notice. So, in my opinion, he made Charlo look pretty bad. Like, Charlo was getting hit with a lot of shots that I haven't seen him get hit by. Like, defense was looking bad. He was looking very shaky in there. So, Charlo's lucky he walked out of there with a win. Really, he should have finished the fight in the 12th round, but he was unable to do that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he walks away with a W. So, now it's on to bigger and better things. Is he trying to cash himself out by fighting Canelo next? Who knows? But I know one thing, and that's the WBC has got to make up their mind. You see, Jermall Charlo's been the mandatory challenger for Canelo for a little over a year, but they want Charlo to fight GGG, and the winner of those two gets to fight Canelo. But Triple G's already fought Canelo twice, and the first fight was a draw. Second fight, he lost. So wouldn't it be logical for Jermall Charlo to fight Canelo next? That's just my opinion. Now, does Jermall Charlo beat Canelo? That's a whole nother argument right there. I think that Canelo is the best fighter at 160 at this moment. Had you asked me a month ago, I would definitely pick Jermall Charlo over Canelo Alvarez and Triple G, but I'm having second thoughts about that, especially after Jermall Charlo's last fight. You're only as good as your last fight. And, you know, he had a lot going on, you know, in terms of his brother just taking his first professional loss. They're both twins. They're connected. It's tough, right? He went on probably less than 15 minutes after his brother just lost. There was a lot to take in the moment, right? Add to the fact that William Monroe is his opponent that he had been training for. Pop dirty for a banned substance. These aren't excuses. I'm just giving you some more context. The fact of the matter is, he didn't look great in that fight against Korobov, in my opinion. He should have stopped him in the 12th round. So, and just putting things into perspective again, like just imagine if that was Triple G in the ring instead of Korobov. And Korobov was landing those lefts, those straight lefts pretty cleanly. I mean, if GGG's landing like that on Charlo, he's going down. Period. He's going down. Triple G has a great chin. His chin was definitely tested by Canelo. Now, Canelo, you can't make any mistakes against Canelo, man. I can see Charlo going in there. Man, I can see him taking a loss to Canelo, man. Like, that's real. You know, I'm not sure. I don't know if Charlo got a chin like that, to be 100% honest with you. I don't think his chin is up to par. I don't think Jermall's chin is up to par either. I don't think they've been tested. You know, I don't think they've been tested like other fighters like Canelo and Triple G. So as much as I like watching the Charlo brothers, I like watching their interviews. I think they're very entertaining. I don't think Jermall Charlo was ready for Canelo Alvarez or Gennady Golovkin. He more so, man, And I'm thinking, man, maybe he'd have an easier time with Triple G over Canelo just because of what Triple G's been going through. But like I said, man, that chin, he's not about to just walk Triple G down. I don't see him walking Triple G down like that. I see him getting walked down and having problems. You know, Jermall can kind of fight out the back foot a little bit, but that's a tough fight for him, man. I know his next fight's not going to be Triple G or Canelo. So, and just think about this. He just got to 160. Like, who was his first opponent at 160? Dude with the bum leg, Highland. Then he beat Centeno Jr. Like, he hasn't been fighting the best competition at 160. And Korobov, light years ahead of both of those guys. And we see what happened when you put him in there with somebody who can box. He was getting outboxed. Triple G's a good boxer. He's got power too, man. I don't know. I just think it would be a long night for Charlo if he was in the ring with Triple G. And Canelo, them counter punches, like, you're getting counter punch for sure, Charlo, if you fight Canelo like that. But hey, I mean, he's the mandatory. If he wants to try to pursue that fight, go right ahead. I just don't think he's ready for a fight with Canelo. And before I was saying Canelo was ducking Charlo, I don't know if that's the case right now. I don't know. I don't think Charlo's ready. He can say whatever he wants to. I don't believe it. I don't think he's ready. Now, then there's the other thing. Of course, Canelo's the A side, so Charlo would have to fight on DAZN. And how likely is that to happen? How likely is he to move over to DAZN? I mean, honestly, he should be fighting on DAZN anyway, because that's where the other champions at 160 are. But Jacobs, who else? Andrade, and Canelo. Those are the three champions, right? Yeah, those are the three. And Munguia. No, Munguia is 154. My bad. Yeah, those are the champions at 160. So, you know, him being with the PBC, kind of holding him back a little bit. But he's definitely the B side to Canelo, so he would have to go to DAZN to fight Canelo. And I think DAZN would probably push for, I'm sure they're pushing for tougher opponents for Canelo, because that Rocky Fielding dude was trash. And if he's got 11 fights on that contract, you know, they're not about to just let him fight nothing but bums. So, Hitman Boxing, let me know what you guys think. Is Jermall Charlo ready for a fight with Canelo Alvarez or Gennady Golovkin? You know, I think he should tread lightly in this situation, but he's definitely looking for a big fight. I mean, why not, I guess, right? It's now or never, right? We got to see where this dude is, you know? Maybe all the things that I presented to you earlier in this video, maybe they did have or play a really big role in what happened to him against Korobov, man, because he didn't look good at all, you know? So we'll see if the Charlo brothers can bounce back. I think they can. I think Jamel's going to bounce back. I'm sure he'll exercise his rematch clause against Tony Harrison. And Jermall Charlo, I mean, just keep chasing Canelo and Triple G. You know, just, you know, that next fight, if you do get Canelo, man, you're going to have to train extremely hard. There's no room for error when you're fighting Canelo Alvarez, man. If you make any mistakes against Canelo, you're going to have to pay. It's as simple as that. Because, again, Canelo's the best fighter at 160. Hate him or love him, he's the best fighter. And I'm not a big fan of Canelo. I'm not a big fan of Golden Boy Oscar De La Hoya, but, you know, Canelo is the best fighter at 160 right now. So, Maul gotta watch out, man. You know, Lions only was looking like Cubs only over the weekend. So, that's all I got to say. Again, leave your comments. Is Jermall Charlo ready for a big fight against Canelo or Triple G? My final take on it, it's either now or never, right? On the other hand, you could continue to fight weaker opposition, or you could try to fight one of these other champions. But again, they're all on DAZN. So, I mean, Demetrius Andrade, Danny Jacobs, you know, you'd have to fight them, and those aren't easy fights either. You know, those are 50-50 fights. So we'll see what Jermall Charlo does with his career moving forward, and we'll see if he can get that Canelo or Triple G fight. With regard to Triple G, it really depends on what the WBC wants and, you know, what Triple G's handlers are willing to allow him to go through. But after his fight against Korobov, I'm pretty sure they're not looking at Charlo the same. Hitman Boxing, drop a comment, like the video, subscribe. Happy holidays. I'm out.